Picture the scene. Your company's been performing well, it's grown, and you managed to acquire a competitor. Hurrah! But problems start to occur when you integrate the two systems. The company you've acquired was as leaky as a bucket made of hopes and dreams. My name's Alex, cybersecurity specialist here at Synextra, and I hope you find the following useful. So let's start with some pre-deal and due diligence information. One of the most important areas of cybersecurity in relation to mergers and acquisitions, that's M&As, is your due diligence. Just as it is one of the most important areas of M&As in general. The unknown can cause major headaches, and some of the most important areas you should be looking for here are undisclosed breaches, vulnerable systems, poor practices, and technical debt. Each of these can have their own significant risk impact. Undisclosed breaches, arguably one of the biggest. A severe data breach or attack can dramatically impact a business's bottom line if uncovered and not handled in the correct manner. Lost business, fines, and more can all result from obscured or improperly handled breaches. Vulnerable systems. This one almost speaks for itself. If you have systems with vulnerable services exposed, it's only a matter of time until a security incident occurs. Poor practices. This is more nebulous. You should be on the lookout for indicators of poor cybersecurity practices. When was the last disaster recovery test or simulation run? Do users have local admin? Is there good network separation for corporate, guest, and IoT devices? Technical debt. Old legacy systems. In-house systems that have been built and then not maintained. These can prove extremely hard to secure properly and in a timely manner without impacting productivity. Not to mention the technical debt and poor practices tend to indicate a far deeper systemic problem. Ensuring you are limiting your exposure during an M&A can be critical, as during the transitionary period, you may not be in full control of the systems and services, but may be legally responsible for the outcomes of a cybersecurity incident. Let's take the acquisition of Starwood Hotels by Marriott in 2016 as an example. Starwood seems to have been riddled with threats that led to a string of breaches for Marriott and over 300 million of its customers' data being lost, eventually resulting in a settlement with the USA's Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, for $52 million. Further to that, it can cost you significantly if you are the party being acquired. When Verizon merged with Yahoo in 2017, they discovered undisclosed breaches, and that caused Verizon to reduce its offer by $350 million. You can imagine how happy that made the Yahoo shareholders, right? Doing proper due diligence for cybersecurity is no longer optional. It's a requirement of modern business. So now let's talk about risks during transition, or integration, or migration, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, there's more to this whole process than merely ensuring you're well informed of the cybersecurity posture of the other party. During the merger or acquisition itself, there is usually a hugely complex process to take control of the new IT systems and networks. During the integration works, cyber risk can spike massively as you connect networks, systems, and entire environments together. Blind spots, a larger attack surface, missing patches, poor access control, lack of documentation, misconfigurations galore, and so much more. All of these contribute not only to an increased likelihood and severity of a breach, but also to the speed of detection, which is critical during an incident response timeline. You can imagine, if you don't know where stuff is, how are you going to even detect threats happening? So how can you do things differently and get ahead of the problem? Let's start pre-acquisition. Number one thing you need to do, part of your due diligence, run a full suite of security maturity assessments. We're talking internal and external penetration tests. Penetration tests running inside your network and from outside your network looking in. Red team exercises. So this is kind of like a penetration test, but much more. You employ a team of specialists to come in and act like a malicious party and attempt to hack your systems, get some really good information out of that, find where you're weak. It's really, really helpful. Business continuity and disaster recovery exercises. As we all know, your last line of defense is your backups. But just because you have backups does not necessarily mean that you're safe and secure. How do you implement them? How do you use them? What are your plans? What are your policies? All of that. Make sure that's tested and running well. These are some great ways to unlock insight into security posture ahead of making an offer. Also, you need to make sure you do asset discovery and inventory. What does this party that I'm acquiring physically have? What do they own? Run a full discovery project to find and identify all systems, identities, networks, SaaS solutions, that's software as a service, software in use, external facing services, cloud environments. Check for active vulnerabilities against everything you find. Dig deep, looking for undisclosed breaches and other issues. Audit all of their current solutions and their maintenance programs. Finding software, hardware, and other solutions that have not been maintained is a sure indicator of more issues to be found. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Technical debt is the smoke, and often you'll find other issues hiding behind a lack of maintenance. Consider bringing in external experts to assist with your due diligence. So, post-acquisition, what can you do to help? Number one thing, network segmentation. Your first port of call is to limit interconnectivity between the new network and systems until they've been put fully under control. Don't integrate anything that hasn't gone through your Hygiene process. Move all new staff to strong authentication standards. We've spoken about this before. We're talking passkeys, MFA. Consistently review staff access during the integration period. Access control, so important. Often, privileged accounts can be created, missed, not deactivated, etc. during the transition. Could be a temporary account somebody set up just so that, hey, I can log in and move these systems. Consolidate your external attack surface as a priority. Even if this just means you're running the traffic through your network as an ingress point for legacy systems. Take control of that network data so you're in control about what's coming in. This can give you great control with network IPS, web application firewalls, and other great detection methods. Ensure good business continuity and disaster recovery technologies, systems, plans, and policies are in place. And, as I said earlier, test them. So many businesses fall at the first hurdle during a cyber attack because they have no tested and secure way to recover. Make sure your backups are immutable. Bad actors are really keen to try to wipe out your backup systems. If you can't recover, you're far more likely to pay. That's how they treat it. Remember, it's a business for them. Crank up on your proactive threat hunting processes during the integration period and for a good margin after the works have been completed. You never know what might have slipped through the cracks. Once again, consider bringing in experts to help with the migration. Build cyber hygiene processes and provide your best chance for staying secured and safe. So, quick rundown in conclusion. Mergers and acquisitions are becoming ever more complicated in this increasingly connected and digital world. Increased complexity leads to greater risk. Greater risk means more in-depth discovery and due diligence. Integration works need to be completed in a timely and secure manner more than ever. Consistent BCDR, again, business continuity, disaster recovery, testing, policies and planning are critical, and onboarding the new systems to these practices is critical. You're not just buying a business, you're buying its cyber debt. Every acquisition comes with technical debt, and often hidden cyber debt. The question is whether or not you'll uncover it before the attackers do.